So before disaster strikes, reserve your peace of mind today. Personal Disaster Recovery Service is there to help you with the same security and safety plan already in use by most major corporations. For peace of mind, call 1-800-435-7016. That's 1-800-HELP-016. And the first 10 callers to review and activate the PDRS plan will receive a free personal home fire extinguisher. Call 1-800-HELP-016 today and sleep soundly knowing that if disaster strikes, PDRS will be there to help. Dial 1-800-HELP-016 right now. Okay, let's get back to the phones with Mary Michele. Cheryl is on the line. Date of birth, July 12th, 1945. Good morning, Cheryl. You're on with Mary Michele.
Hi there. Thank you.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you for calling. Was there a particular question?
No, I just sort of wanted to know what was in store.
Okay. July 12th, you have the sun in Cancer, as you know. You have the moon in Virgo. This is a harmonious angle. It's what we call a sextile. You have Mercury in Leo, Venus in Gemini, Mars in Taurus. You have a Moon-Jupiter conjunction. There's this need in your unconscious to expand philosophically from time to time. Do you ever listen to your dreams?
Yes, always.
Yeah,
always.
It's helpful for you. I think you're somebody that deals well with the unconscious. Anytime you go into a reverie or a meditative state or a place of fantasy.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's good for you. Let's see. You Mercury in Leo. Do you work in the entertainment field in any way?
No, not at all.
What kind of work do you do?
Food business.
I'm sorry?
In the food business, restaurant business.
In the food business. Okay. Well, Mars and Taurus, that's, good for food. Jupiter, Moon, Jupiter, and Virgo, this is good for food, too. You care about people's stomachs, what they put in it.
Oh, definitely. I'm very, very concerned about that.
Yeah. Let's see. There is a slight theatricality here, though. I mean, there's something about you that likes to party.
Interesting. I haven't known that about myself.
You haven't?
No, and I'm going to listen.
Well, I think you really do need to have a look at that. Venus in Gemini is about variety, and certainly in the area of love and sensuousness.
1 second, I really am sorry about this. I'll be right back.
She has another call there. If you'll hold for a few seconds, she'll keep going.
Sorry.
Oh, you're back. Good. Here she is.
Okay.
Just a second. Yes, please. I'm very interested in what you have to say.
Okay. Well, Mercury in Leo. It's about this, certainly with your intellect, wanting to be very childlike and Leo is the sign that likes to be in the theater, that likes to deal with children, and when it's in Mercury, the planet of the mind, is there's an element that you would like to play. I mean, like when you work with the food, do you also like to decorate it with it? Yeah. And you need to spend time with children to stimulate your mind and your own creative abilities. Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And I love being around teenagers.
Good.
Yes.
Mike's saying why.
I really do. They're great.
Why?
Good for you. That's wonderful. So let's see now. The Saturn in Cancer, Uranus.
Well, I love what you're telling me.
Uranus in Gemini. You have there's something unusual about your partner, the person that you're either married to or that you have a business partnership with. Is this person kind of in 16 places at once?
I'm not sure. There's so many different partners I have. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, that's it. It's either one person, 16 different places, or 16 different partners.
That's possible, sure.
Yeah. And is your relationship healthy? Are you happy with it?
Oh, yeah, very.
Well, there's going to be, with all these planets in Sagittarius that are coming up, there's going to be a time for greater intimacy around the holiday of Thanksgiving. You're going to be observing and wanting to get closer to the special person that is in your life.
sounds wonderful.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
By the way, does that apply to the other person wanting to get close to one of us Cancerians? I mean, Cheryl's birthday is only a couple of days away from mine. I'm just curious, you know. Do I go out and invest in the bottle of the champagne?
Yes, Mike.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Okay, we've got Mary on the phone. Mary, we're going to get to you in exactly 1 minute. Back with Mary Michele. If you have a question on astrology, your horoscope, 241-1310, the number to call. Back in 1 minute. Finding holiday gifts is easy, but finding distinctive gifts, well, that's not so easy. At J. Mark Jewelers, it's easy to find distinctive gifts. That's because we design and craft so much of our jewelry ourselves. Quality and selection, service and price. For 25 years, Steve, a graduate gemologist and goldsmith, has stood behind his work. At J. Mark, the work is done on the premises, not sent out. So for whoever is on your gift list this holiday season, and whether it's diamond jewelry, earrings, gold, or a watch that they're wishing for that one-of-a-kind gift, J. Mark Jewelers, Katona Shopping Center, 232-4143. Shop J. Mark Jewelers this holiday season. J. Mark Jewelers, jewelry created for now and forever. All right, welcome back to Mary Michele on WVIP, 241-1310, number to call. Mary is watching on cable channel 12. Date of birth is March 23rd, 1947. Good morning, Mary. You're on with Mary.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Mary.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, just fine.
Good. Did you have a specific question?
Well, I have two. We have a legal matter still pending, and I'd also like to know, we'd like to bring my mother-in-law up to live with us, and I'm wondering if it would be better to leave her where she is, or better for us to bring her here with us.
Okay. You have, you were born at the new moon. You have a sun-moon conjunction, so you have a very, very strong focus to everything that you do with both the sun and the moon in the sign of Aries. You have Mars, the planet that rules Aries, in the sign of Aquarius, so there's something a little unusual about the way that you focus on things. Your perspective is always going to be a little different than what... I'm sorry, you have Mars in Pisces. Did I say it was in Aquarius? You have Mars in Pisces. This weakens the energy of Mars a little bit. You know, sometimes there's too much compassion in the way that you deal with things. Probably only for yourself. It's not that this hurts anyone other than yourself, but sometimes you'll kind of initiate action and then pull back because you have compassion for the situation in a way that isn't particularly... You have Mercury in Pisces, so there's a mind and energy connection there with this compassionate feeling. Okay, Venus is in Aquarius, so you have, the ability to love in unusual ways. The business decision. Okay, in terms of business, with this Sun-Moon conjunction in Aries, is this a law? You said it was a lawsuit or a business? What was it you said it was?
It's a lawsuit still pending. We haven't gone to court or done anything about it yet.
Is this something you initiated?
It is.
Yeah. In as much as you initiated it, I think it's something that you should pursue.
Okay.
I think that the nature of this Pisces energy, this Mercury and Mars in Pisces, you're always going to be pulling back away from the nature, away from energizing this position.
Okay.
And you need to, above all, we need to deal with our conscious and unconscious, the sun and the moon. I mean, these are the planets that are the most, they're the life-giving force. Everything else is terribly important as well, but you have to give free rein to this Aries energy. And I think you should do it for yourself. But it is going to be emotionally distressing for you to do it.
Huh.
In terms of your mother-in-law,
yeah.
Mars in Pisces, I think that, does she want to come?
She really doesn't want to give up any independence, and she's very, very weak, and we just don't like seeing her the way she is. And she's forgetful. She's fighting us, you might say.
Right.
And the other two of her children are this way and that way about it. One says yes, and the other one says, let's leave her alone. We'll take care of her in her own place, and we'll do this and we'll do that. I feel she needs a little more personal attention, more, being around her constantly, watching her. She falls frequently. She's not really safe on her own. And my husband and I feel that. I'm home, so I'm the only one of the six of us that is home, and I think I can do it and at least make her life a little bit more easy and make her feel a little bit more better. I don't know. I want to bring her here, but I know it would be a lot of work, and I don't want to take any independence from her.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a tough decision. I hear you, and I think it is a very, very tough decision.
It's hard for her. It's easy for me, but it's going to be a fight for her.
Well, it's not going to be easy for you either. I mean, this is going to be, a big responsibility to take on.
I do it than see her the way she is.
Well, I hear you. I mean, I realize that this is a tough decision. I think, are you going to have her for the holidays?
She doesn't want to come all the way up here. And I figure once we get her here for a few days, perhaps...
Is she in Florida?
No, she's in New York. She's about 50 miles away. She's in Mount Vernon. She's not far at all.
Well, I think that the idea would be to get her to come for the holidays, even if it's only for a few days over the holidays. I think you'll be able to get some kind of a better grasp on it, to have her in the house,
mm-hmm.
and give her and you the possibility to examine this in a very practical way. I think you have to do it that way and not vegetate and think about it in your mind so much.
By the horns and...
Yeah, I think you have to try it, and if it doesn't work out, you'll change again.
Yeah?
Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you for calling. Very interesting phone call. I was sitting here listening to it, and there were certain things that came back to me because I lived through that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we were able to get some people down in Florida to stay with my parents, and it was, let me tell you, it's not easy.
It's a tough decision.
Boy, is it ever, because people do not want to give up their independence. We've got about 3 minutes left. I have a question for you. Next Friday is the day after Thanksgiving. Are you going to be with us or not?
Are you going to be here, Mike?
I'm going to be here, sweetheart, just for you. The reason I ask, I just want to make sure that people understand that, what you are doing. I listened for how many weeks now? How long have we been doing this?
April.
April. That long, huh? Seems like yesterday.
I know.
But, there is so much of this that rings true, and I have to marvel at times. I am still not a complete believer, but I am sure as heck not such a doubter anymore. And I sit here and I'm, because so much of it is true.
Well, I think the thing is that you have to realize that astrology, is the science. It's the feminine science that tries to help us understand what the nature of truth is about, because truth is not an easy...
Answer. But I have a question. You mentioned this was the feminine way of doing things. Do women believe in this more than men?
It's the feminine science. This is a paradox. Okay, the nature of science as a rule is very logical. It's very linear. It's all of the qualities that we give to the left side of the brain, the masculine. Okay, so when we say a feminine science, what we're doing a juxtaposition of ideas. That there is a search for the scientific meaning behind it, but there is also the understanding that things are ambiguous, and the nature of truth can be ambiguous. Very much like the Lady of Justice, who carries the scales, but she's blindfolded. This in and of itself is a juxtaposition. How can you be fair if you can't see? But sometimes you can only be fair if you can't see.
I'm sitting here trying to, it's like a ping pong match, watching the ball go each way. I don't know what to believe anymore. No, I was just very concerned because you had mentioned this was the feminine side. I know the right part of the brain, the left part of the brain, and one takes, precedence over the other.
Well, we all have both components.
Well,
in our lives.
I just believe the lady now. I don't even question anymore. I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving before, because we will not see each other until after Thanksgiving. Next Friday, Mary Michele is back. Any final thoughts?
Oh, Mike, just have a good one.
Okay.
Don't eat too much.
Certainly won't. Mary Michele on WVIP. Have a great day. See you next Monday.
He survived. With love, he turned to God. His musical is Les Miserables. His passion survived a revolution. His hopes rose higher than the barricade. His whispered prayers spoke louder than the cannon's roar. Les Miserables is his musical. Les Miserables, the world's most popular musical at the Imperial Theater. Call Telecharge 212-239-6200 for tickets. Les Miserables, the voice of angels can be heard.
A couple of quickies to make you laugh before we leave here. I didn't realize this. Did you know, everybody knows about Irish coffee. It's thick and it's very strong. Did you know that in the 16th century in Turkey, drinking coffee was punishable by death? True. Did you also know that during World War I, removing straps from corsets saved enough metal to build 2 warships? Whatever happened to corsets, right? Things like that. By the way, today is National Rubber Eraser Day. In 1770, English chemist Joseph Priestley coined the term eraser. He found that a small cube of latex could be used to rub out pencil marks. So this is where it all came from. We finally found out. We are counting down the seconds till 9 o'clock, and Mary Michele about 7 minutes after that. Mike Sarnoff, Liz Chun, Stella Bernberg, Dick Johnson, Eric Rose, Steve Pelletieri. All of our spotters, thanks to Metro North Police, thanks to the principal of the Brewster High School. We had all the information you needed today. We'll see you again tomorrow morning, bright and early. Mary Michele following the 9 o'clock news at WVIP Mount Kisco. If you were, thanks for listening. It's 9 o'clock. Welcome to Meet the VIPs. Our guest today, obviously it's a Monday. There she is, Mary Michele. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you, Mike?
I'm going to take a breath here. Feels much better. We've got to get right to the phones because we don't like to keep people who are sitting on their car phones waiting too long. Nancy, are you there? Nancy, can you hear me? Nancy, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Okay, good morning. Can you give us your date of birth, please?
May 3rd, 1950.
All right, 5-3-50. Mary Michele, you're on with her.
Hi, Nancy. Did you have a particular question?
I'm having a real tough time with my daughter. Not myself, but just everything around me is kind of falling apart, and I'm wondering if I'm hitting some rough roads here, or will I get out of this one?
Okay. You were born just after the full moon, which makes your relationships in general something that is very much about polarities, extremes. You know, you have to, what you're working out is how to bring things down to a moderate level with your relationships. Taurus is a fixed sign. Change is not something that comes easily. It's a very comforting sign. As a parent, I'm sure that you're someone that provides a tremendous amount of security, but lots of times children need to have they need to not have security. They need to have someone allow them to be chaotic. It's always a push-pull. With the moon in Sagittarius, you're philosophical, so you do have the ability to roll with it somewhat. You also have Mercury in Taurus, Mars in Virgo, Jupiter in Pisces, Venus in Pisces. You have a Venus-Jupiter conjunction. That's very nice. Venus is exalted. Your ability to love people is very pure. There's always a higher thing going on with it. It should have been bad, or more difficult with her for the last 2.5 years, but there should have been a shift, in the last week or so. Perhaps, right now with the Sun in Aries, it's a little bit, there's too much activity going on. The springtime is a time that people want to have, they want to make big changes, and they want to go out there and they want to have fun. How old is she?
She is 16.
Well, that adolescent period, I think in the springtime, it gets a little, things get more difficult for the person, the adolescent and the parent. If you just think of the 1st of May and how everybody wants to go out and party kind of thing. So I think that, certainly for you throughout the year, it's a lucky year for you in terms of making money, your ability to make money, your ability to work hard. Any detail-oriented work that you do, you'll have a lot of luck with that. The structure in your life, you'll be having luck with the structure in your life. I think if you focus on yourself and what you need to do in your career, are you a working person?
I'm a homemaker.
If there's something that you would like to do in the outside world in some capacity, you would have a lot of luck with it this year. But, focus more on yourself, and she'll be fine.
Okay, thank you very much. We apologize. The car phone